High grade after colony, Wing Gundam. Hey, what's up again everybody? It's Robert 184, 2Rs2Bs, gundamreviews.net, the unbox of the parts for this high grade after colony, almost UC Wing Gundam here, have been fantastic so far, but now it's time to see how the MS and the bird mode are going to be working out for this HG 1144th, a proper HG today. And my oh my, when he's all put together here, this is just a fantastic looking kit. The colors are just going to be absolutely popping there, from the blue, the red, and the yellow to the mostly white body there. The shoulders, they're going to be looking really good. I think the black ink is going to help, and of course doing it properly and better than I did is going to make it look even better. Probably a little bit of black ink could have been added on the inside of the shoulders, but it's the details in the upper body. From back to front, from the featherless, well, the featherless wings there, to all the details crammed into the chest and that head sculpt, this guy looking great. So what are we going to get for articulation? Well, the front skirts are going to come all the way up there, so the legs can kick forward and off to the side. You'll see that the side skirts aren't going to get out of the way too much there, so don't expect anything like full splits. And you can see the way that the hips can do a funky little dance there. The leg is going to bend very well, as it's going to need to for the transformation. The ankle part here just hangs a little bit too low some of the time, so you're just going to have to make sure that it's up in the right position. And the toe is going to be bending, and the ankles with this double joint here are working very well. And the upper body, well, you can rotate all around, as is probably going to be necessary later. So what do we get for ab crunches and going back? Well, you can see it moving on the poly cap there, and it is going to stay in place when you put it back, but really nothing side to side. The actual shoulders themselves, they're huge range of motion. Check that out. As you can see, it's going to be popping out. Let's see how far before this whole white thing is just going to come out. But you could see that he would be able to reach across pretty well there. But one thing, you are going to be slightly limited, it feels like, with this. First, the shoulders do a good job of going up and down. Of course, they're going to have to go all the way down. The arms will rotate, but with the elbows here, they do have this nice double bend mechanism. You're just going to have to make sure that the claw gets out of the way. It can just catch ever so slightly if you try to bend the wrong part of the two bends first, as you can see there. And the hands, simple and effective, but ultimately, I think it's just the way that the head is going to be moving well here. Funky chicken, everything looking good from the front. With the backpack and wing articulation, you saw that that's going to be moving in there only up this far, and so it is able to swing further this way, but of course that's not going to help when you've got shoulders in the way. So you've got the wings, you can take them and put them up like this. So this is going to be the angle that you can see it from the front. Pretty impressive that it's up over 90 degrees there, and this red part without that little white mark, and you can see that it's just going to be moving just 10 or so degrees there. And if you line it up just right, it'll pack itself away neatly. With short Gundams like this at 16 meters, putting it together, I actually felt that it was probably in scale with the other 18-meter Gundams down in their high-grade size. But actually, once you put it next to something like the high-grade Age 2 over there, you can see that the head is going to be a lot bigger, and just the overall body for the Age 2 is going to be bigger, including those wing binders. So I think Bandai's found that perfect medium of actually reflecting the scale properly while still not scaling it down too small where it's going to look disproportionate and weak on your shelf next to your other HG All Gundams. Next to a big bruiser though from Universal Century, like the Dovin Wolf here from Double Zeta and later Unicorn, you can see that compared to some of the big bad guys, he's definitely going to be on the small side in terms of the protagonists, and with the bad guys generally being bigger anyway, he is going to stand out a little bit for being on the Napoleon side. And if it was only about details, of course, any high grade should be losing out to the real grades with their more expensive price points and multiple colors of white. And you can see here that the GPO-1, especially if you go to the time to put on a lot of the decals and all the lining options, is going to look a lot more realistic and more like a weapon of war. But at the same time, I've got to say there's something really pleasing to the eye about the understated lining and just simple colors over there. With the Gundam Wing, if you put in the trouble to put in that black ink there on the shoulders, I'd say that he's going to have that crisp, clean look that definitely is going to appeal to many fans out there. And personally for me, it's a huge step up on the old Liney McLinertons that was the mid-90s 1/100th wing kits. Absolutely nothing complicated about arming them up here. As you can see, the shield goes in. Hopefully it's going to be staying on there nice and secure, and the same for the big BR there. It'll just attach in. No need for pigs, or so it seems so far. And you don't want to be at the wrong end of this Buster rifle here, and you can just start to see some of the posing possibilities there. Take the wings and sweep them in whichever direction you want. The shield there staying well in hand, and the Buster rifle no weight issues whatsoever. As you can almost see that claw is going to do a very nice job of actually just complementing the Buster as it sits there in the forearm. Didn't get in the way at all. You can see that it may just be the sky that's the limit in terms of posing this guy. Coming across the other way here, you'll see that actually the Buster rifle is doing a good job. It may fall down slightly in the hand there, but it's very easy to actually prop it back up in place there. With the wing spread a little bit and all the white parts that you see shining through around that shield, you can see that he can bring the Buster all the way across, thanks in no small part to those very movable shoulders, where you can see the gray part popping out, and then with the rotation of the white parts, it seems like this guy can do a very good job of shooting in any direction. And though I haven't made this pose particularly cool, how great is that? That the left arm can bring the shield open, crack it open, and you can actually get that gray hand on there. The beam saber's not going to sort of lean out, it's on a tab and you don't really want to break it, but otherwise you can actually have the hand ready to grip it, which means it's actually time for him to get airborne and decide to start slicing through some of the bad guys. Not bad, actually. And with the help of an action base, this is where you can really start to have some fun. First of all, those legs, they'll go absolutely anywhere with the double knee joints. And the ankles do a great job, so you can have the toes pointing down. That armor, I was a little bit wary of just this part, not protecting in all the right places. But all you have to do is just bend it up there, and everything is going to be exactly as it should be. The wing options, they're not going to be totally crazy, but they're all going to look good. Whether they're open or off to the side, that shield looks menacing in any direction. And with all the possibilities you've got with that shoulder, you can have him staring right down the blade, and it's going to look great from any direction. This, though, is the kind of simple launch pose that gives it its proper name of wing. Really just impressive overall. Again, the legs will go exactly where you want. This guy feels absolutely solid when you're trying to get him posed and move all the different parts. Nothing is going in a bad direction. You'll notice there that the Buster rifle is hanging in the hand. No problem with weight whatsoever for the shield or that. The wings, they're going to look good together or apart, and the fact that he's got that neck mechanism is just going to allow it to come up a little bit more so that he can glance up at the sky before flying up into it, and once again infringing on G Gundam's song. And for a totally different look, as if he was in the hammock district taking a day off, never mind blasting absolutely everybody. Wings apart there, you can just see that the legs can be moved at a cool angle, and the shoulders, again, they'll do absolutely whatever you want, and he can be staring straight down the Buster rifle, not a single issue in terms of weight, as he blasts any bunker above or below. And it's the kind of thing where it may actually be worth displaying, reversed on the action base here on one of your lower shelves, as you just get to see it blast everybody up above him. An incredible MS, but how about the bird mode? Well, you're going to take this waist section, just pull that down, drop it back into place, and stick it back up. And you'll know you did it right because there's a very small peg here on one side of the waist, and it's actually going to attach up into the abs very neatly. Next, you're going to have to at least have a Ziploc on hand or something, take off the fists, and then all you're going to do there is just drop down the shoulders. And you can see the front skirt there, and what are you going to do with these crazy chicken ATST legs? Well, you're going to bring them forward and then bend it up like this, and you'll notice that this knee part is actually going to bang into there, and you can put the skirts down. Everything, it's not going to feel that crazy or anything, it's simple, it's easy to get it there, and the toes bending down are still going to put it at a pretty decent angle here. And yes, birds and dinosaurs must be related with his teeny tiny T-Rex-like claws down there, which actually are not looking all that bad, and that blue connection piece is going to get them exactly where they need to be. And the shoulders, if you take the time to squeeze them right on there, are actually going to be fitting quite solidly. And finally, you're going to get rid of this part for the Buster, get that out of the way, and you'll notice that it's got this part up at the top, which is going to go on here and then actually slide forward and lock into place very securely. Before it's time to use that backpack and attach this in here and to hide the fact that this is just a leaning over Gundam, well, at least from one side. And how about that? A quick, easy transformation here that's fitting together surprisingly well. You want to talk about solid? There's nothing here that wants to seem to move out of place there. You'll notice the red parts are back, the white and yellow parts are off to the side. The legs look good, the front look good, the shoulders look good, and even from underneath, you can see thrusters where they're practical, an auction base attachment point. The claws are looking good and the head is actually turned around, so all you're gonna see is wings and a lot of pain from that gun. And up on an action base, well, what do you think? I think between the wings, the claws, the colors, and everything pretty much hidden, those legs looking decent. Much better than I expected for a 1/144th kit. I would say that this is the kind of thing where you may actually want to go out and get 2 of them, especially considering how simple and yet good looking it is when transformed. Wow, the hot streak, I would say, has continued. Stick around, everybody. There is going to be a verdict after looking at this MS and the bird mode. I'd love to hear your thoughts, but will it be a momentous one? Anyway, stick around. I can't wait to find out myself. Thanks for watching, everybody. See ya. Me, Grimlock? Never mind.